Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This Wednesday evening, we will be listening how Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is giving the answer to Nanda Bose, an aristocrat of Calcutta. Here, as usual, we will start with chanting this mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhirilitam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatam bhubi grinanti e bhurida janaha. This kathamrita, this is the katha, the words, amrita means the nectar, that's so joyful and so enlightened. That is the Kathamrita. For everything, very simple way, Sri Ramakrishna is giving the answer. We get confused. Of course, some of us, we love to be confused because we love to study different type of things. Then we jungle up, mix up, as because we are not having the tapasya, the austerity, the mind is not completely detached from the worldly attachment, and along with that we mix up the philosophy and then spirituality, then some of the mystical things, then stories, then we are thoroughly confused. And that exactly happened in those time also. The people are asking questions from where we can understand their ideas. Now you know, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was visiting Nanda Bose's house. And he was very happy seeing their house full with different pictures, photos. It's actually hand-drawn pictures. There are not much of photo, as nowadays the camera and all those things are so easy. In those days it was not. So the artist used to draw the pictures, and aristocratic family, they used to have, the rich people, they used to have different type of photos. But mostly the gods and goddesses. So Sri Ramakrishna was very happy. The people, though living a wealthy life, but at the same time, they're having a devotion, they're having the faith in the existence of God. So Sri Ramakrishna was very happy. And the God has come in the form of a human being, and he is going and mixing with the people, and he is encouraging people to turn towards God. Why? Because otherwise we will never ever get the happiness, the peace, the joy for which we are all hankering and pursuing. So that is the reason the Sri Ramakrishna, in a very unique way, is giving the teaching. Now when he met the Nanda Bose, we have already read and discussed on that. The Nanda Bose asked, can God violate law? That is a beautiful way he was asking, and Sri Ramakrishna's was, of course, why not? God himself has made the law, and naturally he can do it. You know, before that we studied, and Sri Ramakrishna said that this is the ideal of modern times. What is the ideal of modern times? Sarva Dharma Samannaya. That was the ideal of modern times. So on that we have already discussed. So what is the Sri Ramakrishna's idea? His contribution. And this modern time, there are many different faiths, many different beliefs, many different philosophies. All are leading to the same goal, but in a different type of teachings are there, terminologies are there. But why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna mentioned that? Because God is nothing but love and unselfishness. This we have to keep in mind. Then when we are reaching over there, some people are telling, my God is very powerful, He will do this, He will do that, and He will save you from all the hell. And what is the hell? Suffering. So what He will do? Give us the joy. That means ultimately it is the joy, it is the happiness, it is the containment. If we keep in mind and then proceed, whatever may be the way, the two things are necessary: faith in the existence of God and sincerity to reach Him. That's all. It's really, really that easy. We read that this philosophy, that philosophy, and new way of thinking, and the more the complicated way people can present it, the more we are happy with that. But ultimately what? So this is the way we have to understand. He said this is the ideal of modern times. I am just reminding you, because this is the modern time. This is the God he is mentioning, that you have to understand other religions too, other philosophy too, other paths too. They are all going to the same goal. Second, when the Nanda Babu was asking, can God violate law? Sri Ramakrishna's reply was immediate, prompt, very simple and straight. What do you mean? He is the Lord of all. He can do everything. He who has made the law can also change it. He who has made the law can also change it. Now, in the modern time, it is not the king. It is all democratic, and democracy means a group of people, and there will be a parliament, and then they will discuss. But even then, the parliament, the lawmaker, they are making the law, and when the situation is different, they are changing the law. That is also happening. It can happen. So those who are making the law can change. And God, who has made the law or the system, any time He can change it. There's sometimes the Hindus, they of course we believe, the Hindus and Buddhists also they believe, karma phala. What is the karma phala? Jains also. The karma phala means that when we are thinking good or bad, that effect is coming on us. When we are saying in such a way that reacting about the other people and good or bad, that result is also coming to us. And when physically also we are doing good or bad, harming others or helping others, that is also the same result, good or bad, coming. Now, suppose I made some mistakes, and then I realized that was a mistake that I should not have done. I have hurt those people. Then I pray to God that I made a mistake. So please forgive me. He can. He can change the course of that karma phala. He can do it. So that is exactly what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. That He is the Redeemer. He can do it. He is all powerful. And then again he was asking, is God partial? And why? Because suppose the idea is in this way, if the God, when we are praying, so obviously He is very happy with someone and forgiving everything, and He is not very happy with someone else, even for the same thing, He is giving the punishment, so obviously He is partial. He is taking a part. God can never be so. So when the Nanda Babu is asking this, Nanda Bosh, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, God Himself has become everything. So sometimes He is supporting some people, sometimes He is supporting not other people. It is His full will. Where he says afterward, it is His sweet will. God Himself has become everything, the universe and its living beings. You will realize it when you have perfect knowledge. Friends, this one line, maybe half a sentence or simply a word, that explains everything. Perfect knowledge. Half knowledge, that creates confusion. Some people, they are thinking God is there, but to realize God, we have to be very careful about food. So God is there, a little conception that has come, but they are not clear about it. So what will happen? If you dress like this, dance like this, eat like this, then you will realize God. So that is the problem, because they are thinking in that way. But suppose they are very genuine, they are not hurting others, criticizing others, very, very genuine. Even in that way also, they will get the blessings of God, the guidance of God. A proper person will come, a correct guru will come, guide them. There are so many stories in our mythology, and that teaches us this. Like a young boy, Dhruva. So he went to the king's palace, and he saw a little boy of his same age almost sitting on the lap of the king. He too, Dhruva, was also the son of the king, but somehow the second wife of the king was not liking the first wife. So the palace politics, they removed the first wife, and she was living a very humble life. Her son, he was also the prince, but the poor lady's son. So he was not allowed over there. But he wanted to go near to the king. King was also willing, being a father. But the second wife, that time the queen, didn't allow, drove that boy out of the palace. He came back to his mother and said, "That is my father, and why he will not take me on his lap? I want to go and sit near him." The mother told, "See, I cannot help you because I am helpless. They have removed me from the palace. You are the son of that king, but unfortunate, they won't allow you. So who can help me? Lord Vishnu can help." She said like that. The God can help you. Then he started calling, "Oh Lord, where are you? Oh Lord, where are you?" He started searching, not knowing how to call, what is the name, all these things. But he was sincere. This is the word we have to keep in mind. The boy was genuine in his heart, and he wanted to meet God. And obviously, when he was searching for God sincerely, by God's grace, his guru came, and he was Narada. That's the story goes like that. The Narada asked him, "It is a dangerous jungle that you have entered, my boy. You should not loiter like this. Sit under this tree and chant these mantra. I am giving you a holy name of the God. That is the mantra. Go on chanting." And he did that. The way he was chanting sincerely, slowly his mind became completely pure. And the pure mind means, those who are regularly listening, you know that pure mind means no attachment to the worldly objects. That's all. Don't confuse. The pure mind means drinking a lot of Ganga water or living only on milk and fruits. No. If you like, you can do that, but the pure means no connection with the worldly objects. Rupa, Rasha, Shabda, Sparsha, Gandha. These are the 5 objects. And we should not, we can be with them as long as we are living in this life. We cannot leave those things completely. Even in the jungle, even in the cave, even in the isolation, you need food. You need some type of clothing to cover your body. So naturally we are in this world, and don't think that we have to have those things and naturally attachment for those things. This is the point. No attachment. That's all. The mind is pure. And the moment the mind is pure, that means no attachment, no waves of thoughts for the worldly objects. Immediately that mind reflects the consciousness. As simple as that. The consciousness is nothing but tremendous joy. Now some people, like the Dhruva presently, the young boy, so his mind became calm, and as because he was imagining the Lord Vishnu, his mother said, and his guru, the Narada, also said that, so he saw Vishnu in that form. The Lord said, hey, what do you want? You want to go and become the king over there? I am arranging. You better go. He said, no, I don't want to go to my father. I don't want the kingdom. Now I have understood. The goal of human life is not to become a king and rule a small country, but to get the eternal joy and the knowledge. So I want that. So that is the way when we are searching maybe for a very simple thing like the blessings of my father, but sincerely calling God, and without knowing how to call, things will be arranged by the blessings of God. Why? God is all powerful. And He can hear each and every word that is coming in our mind. You need not to alter even. That is God. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the God Himself who came in that human form, and He said that God can listen everything. So sincerely if we are calling, it is possible. God Himself has become everything. So that Dhruva is also the same God, and that cruel, the queen, she is also the same God. Then what is happening? So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, it is His good will, sweet will, just drama. The God has become Dhruva, the God Himself has become that queen, and that queen, she is torturing. Everything is nothing but the plot of the drama. We are just enacting. So when we are thinking in that way, the suffering of this world will never touch our mind. Unnecessarily we are getting involved into it, and obviously we are thinking, oh, this is so much painful. I have been insulted and they are doing like this, they are doing like nothing is happening. So that is called pure knowledge, perfect knowledge. The God has become everything. Now from the dualistic point of view, the God has become everything. Here again the Vedanta, it has three different ways of thinking. It will say whether this world is completely different from God, or it is just see like that, but actually it is not. One group will support, no, it is complete transformation, like the milk is becoming yogurt. Another group will say, no, it is just imagination. So that is the way the philosophy there. And why it is imagination? Because it changes. The one person who has become a human being, and then after behaving good, bad, like that, and suddenly he comes in contact with a holy person, then he withdraws the minds from the objects, then he goes back to the source. If that is so, it is not perfect or complete transformation, it cannot be. So obviously there is an opportunity to go back to the original. And when we are completely transformed like the milk and yogurt, yogurt can never become milk. So these are the philosophical, the subtle points. But the main thing is God is there, God has become everything, and God is behaving in all this way. That is called perfect knowledge. God Himself has become everything. This universe and the living being, you will realize it when you have perfect knowledge. The God Himself has become the 24 cosmic principles. The 24, there are, that list is there, the Samkhya philosophy they have given, this 24 cosmic principles. The mind, the intellect, the body, and so forth. Is there anyone but Himself to whom He can show partiality? This is called Hinduism. That's why Hindu cannot take up the arms to fight against others. Politically, sure. When there is a group of people are coming, no, we have to protect ourselves. Everyone has that right. But as a philosophy, the Hinduism cannot say that I denounce the other. Why? Because the God has become everything. How can I deny the person, the other person? But if that other person is going to attack me, if that other person is trying to harm me, in the practical level, I have every right to protect myself. Yes. I know even the elephant, the lions, the tigers, the snakes, they are nothing but same God. Yes, manifested in many different ways. But at the same time, I am not going to go and live with them. As Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, shall I go and embrace a tiger? How can I? Because I know that, but tiger doesn't know. So that manifestation is limited. The practical reaction will be different. So one must be very, very careful. Not only forget about these animals, rather even the human being, among the human beings, those who are crooked-minded and very cunning type of people, we have to be careful about them. We should not go in their company. Though they are, in reality, we know nothing but God. So one is that perfect knowledge, but at the same time, vyavaharika, everyday life, we should be careful. So this is the perfect balancing of knowledge and activity. But the moment you become like the Lord Buddha, you forget all these things, then there is no fear and nothing can harm you too. So Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, is there anyone but Himself to whom He can show the partiality? He means the God can show partiality, everything. When He is showing the partiality, that is also He. Again and again we have to keep in mind to understand this as if someone has written the script of the drama. All the conversations, all the actions, everything that the writer has created. And the writer himself, if he is enacting into that, maybe he is the writer and he is the king, but he is enacting like a servant. He wanted to perform as a servant. So there he made his servant as king and he himself is behaving as a servant. So that way he is there. But suppose he wants to change the position, he can, because he is the main writer. So that is the God. The God has created this universe. Then he came in the form of Sri Ramachandra, in the form of Sri Krishna, in the form of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in the form of many other religious teachers in different times, different places. He came. It is possible. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna wants to give us this idea. Then Nanda, he is asking, why has he assumed all these different forms? Why are some wise and some ignorant? It is his sweet will. The Sri Ramakrishna mentioned. In the meantime, some people had a conversation is going on, and the third person, he is not supposed to give his opinion, but sometimes people they give. So Atul, he couldn't understand the seriousness. The Sri Ramakrishna is giving the message. When someone is asking the question, it is not an ordinary question. He is taking it seriously and giving the actual, the philosophical and the truth through this conversation. Now this third person entered into and he said that Atul, Kedar Babu puts it nicely. Once a man asked him, why has God created the world? He replied, I was not present in the conference where God made the plans of his creation. Sri Ramakrishna didn't pay any heed to it. See, when we are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we have to keep these also in mind. That sometimes Sri Ramakrishna support Kedar, sometimes he is also, oh yes, you are correct, he will say like that. But when he wants to give a clear idea, clear teaching, he will never enter into that. He won't pay any heed to that, no importance to that conversation. Atul entered into and said, he never laughed, he never appreciated, as if he didn't hear. Again he is repeating, oh, it is his sweet will. Whether that Kedar was present or not, it doesn't matter. He himself said afterwards, in a fun joking way, but here this time when the Nanda Bosh is asking this question, so Sri Ramakrishna is very sincerely and very, as a guru, he is giving us this idea, it is sweet will. Then the master started singing. It is a very beautiful song. It is in Bengali. It's called Kali Kirtan. O Mother, all is done after thine own sweet will. Shakoli tomari ichha moi tara tumi. Ichha means the will, sweet will. That means just, not that there is any cause, just you think, sheer thinking. Here, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is saying mother. Who is the creator? Mother. So, addressing the mother, he is singing, and this is a very famous song. Shakali tomari ichha moi tara tumi, tomar karma tumi karo ma, loke bole kori ami. When we are young, we used to learn these songs. And by hearing these songs and then singing these songs, you remember the philosophy also. Everything is nothing but God. Somebody is insulting you, and if you take that seriously, and you will suffer a lot. Maybe that person is in a high position, and you cannot take the revenge, though you are not supposed to. And particularly the monks and the brahmacharis, they never can think of taking the revenge. No. That is the oath that we take. But we only can pray to God, that is the God that I am suffering because of this person, please change their attitude about me. But if you are knowing this, Shakali tomari ichha, it is all your sweet will. Ichha moi tara tumi, that you are, thou thine sweet will. Thou art the truth self-willed Redeemer of mankind. Thou workest thine own work, men only call it theirs. Thou, it is that holdest the elephant in the mire, thou that helpest the lame man scale the loftiest hill. But anything is possible, Mother can do anything. Sometimes you give the blessings of Brahmagyana to someone and put someone hurled into the world below. That is the will of God. So what we should do? In the dualistic way, when you are thinking, the Mother is all powerful. Even in the worldly life, we have seen when the mother is chastising the child or just scolding that her own child, the child will go and hug the mother, because the child knows the mother is the only redeemer. Then after some time, mother will once again cajole and will use the sweet words, and she will forget everything. The blessings will come on that child. We have to behave same way also with the Creator, whom we can consider as mother. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna always considered that as mother. Sometimes some people, they say father. But in India, particularly in the Bengal, as because they love the mother, so they always think about the mother. And the India is, all Indians are, the Hindus particularly, they have the respect and the love and the faith in the God, and different type of sometimes the Sri Ramachandra, a group of people, they are worshipping Sri Ramachandra, but they are not denouncing others also. Sometimes one or two, they are ignorant people, they will be behaving like that only to get some popularity, negative popularity. But forget about them. So that is the way we always go. Maybe I am the worshipper of Sri Ramachandra, but I go and bow down at the feet of the Lord Krishna. We go and the Lord, there are Ganesha and Devi Saraswati, Durga, Kali, no difference. Yet the mother means that the universal mother, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is singing. He continued, the divine mother is full of bliss. Creation, preservation and destructions are the waves of her sportive pleasure. This is the philosophy. How the creation came? Just by will. Why he or she, the creator, willed? No, you cannot ask that question. That is blasphemous. It just came in that mind. And this happened. The universe is so vast, we cannot imagine. So when we are thinking I, and if you are flying over in an aircraft, from there if you like to see your own house, it will be tiny little thing. And in that tiny little thing, you are one with a speck like that. And you are jumping and thinking, I. That is really funny. So what is this I? What is this ego? Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, it is the bliss. The Divine Mother is full of bliss. Friends, what is religion? What is this spirituality? Why we all in different paths trying to reach over there only to get the bliss. This happiness, eternal happiness, that is the goal. Why? Again the Upanishad says, that is the source, from there we have come. The cause and effect. The cause is the bliss, the joy, the happiness eternal. So obviously the effect is the created beings, we all want to be happy. But we don't know how to become happy. So sometimes we go and drive the car in a fast and we think, oh, that is great joy, the excitement, only for happiness. Ends up, God forbid that sometimes it ends up in death, an accident. So that why we are driving like that, the rush driving, happiness only, excitement. If you go to any hotels and the pub and all the people are jumping and dancing, they are thinking they are dancing, nothing dancing, simply jumping on, mostly. And they are thinking they are enjoying, and then they are getting exhausted only. So that is the way, we think only in that way. Oh, I am enjoying. You are not. So what is the enjoyment? After that you are suffering, and the next day morning, I have seen in the movies the people are suffering. So this is the way, when we look at this, where is the joy? We are searching for joy. Sometimes eating, sometimes moving, sometimes visiting, sometimes singing, sometimes doing this, that, only for happiness. And what is the source of happiness? The Creator, the Mother. So we have to go back to the source, to the Mother. And Ramakrishna is mentioning the Divine Mother is full of bliss. Now he said, innumerable are the living beings. Only one or two among them obtain liberation. And that makes her happy. Now, that is the game. Ekaham bahushyama vihi. In Sanskrit they mention, I am alone, I like to be many. The moment the thought came, again, we cannot ask why this thought came. No, that we cannot ask. It just came as if it came. As if. A moment it came, immediately there was the changes started. Now the philosophers started describing how the changes came. So they analyzed. In every being, three types of qualities we find. The good, mixture of good and bad, and bad. So they said these three qualities have also come from the Creator. And they named it Sattva, Raja and Tama. Where from they got it? By analyzing. So Hinduism is just like a science. They are analyzing and coming out with the truth that they are accepting after a lot of experiments. So they are accepting. So three qualities are there, only three. They will never say 4 or 5. What are the three qualities? Sattva, Raja and Tama. And what is this Sattva? Good quality. And the Raja, mixture of good and bad, and mostly egoistic. And bad means Tama, they say, and the very bad is always good against everything. So positive, mixture of positive and negative, and again pure negative. So these three. Now permutation and combination, and that different type of beings are created. Again, go back to the original question, where from it came? The Creator. That means it was already there. Then if it was already there, is it that all the time creation is going on? Some say yes, and some say no. Sometimes these three gunas become completely tranquil. They are completely separated and without any move, without any activity. When that happens, no creation. And that is called dissolution. The creation, dissolution. In between the time is the existing. So that three are happening because of the Mother. And if we now think in this way, the Supreme Being, whom we can call Brahman, or we can call Mother, as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna mentioning here, suddenly the three qualities that was there already, but it was completely dormant, inactive, made activated. Then different type of things it was created. Then he played with those things. Then afterwards he got tired with that. Then he collect all those, put in a bag and stop that play. The creation and the destruction, in between all these things are going on. So in that way if we think, it is the knowledge. And when that we think in that way, no effect on us. Out of 100,000 kites, at best but 1 or 2 break free. Lokke একটা দুটো ঘুড়ি কাটে তুমি হেসে দাও মা হাত চাপাটি. Another song. Among millions, the created being, you have given the good knowledge, positive knowledge, how to go beyond this suffering. But they don't want to accept those. And the result, suffering. Now we are separating from the Creator. And then we started thinking, I am an individual and I want to get the joy. I don't know how to get the joy. I thought if I eat a lot, I will be happy. I started eating. No, it is no joy. Rather, I am suffering. My body is not taking it. The same way I am trying to get the power. I shall kill all people and become a great warrior. You know, the one time it was there, warrior, warrior. What is great warrior? Butchers only. What great warrior? Only a strong body and he knew how to kill. Is that any qualification? He is a butcher. And he is killing, why? Just to satisfy his ego. And we are giving them, oh, great hero, and their lives are there in this history, and generations after generation we are reading. Oh, so that we have to understand. So why we should have to think in this way. Rather, those who are helping others, giving positive ideas, they should be made as the hero of the human societies. Those who are bringing different type of people and teaching them, guiding them how to live together, though different, but living together because they have reduced their ego, and naturally the collisions are less. So that is the hero, not killing and grabbing. Those people who are killing and grabbing, in the Indian tradition they always say they are asuras. I only should survive. I won't allow anybody to survive. Asura. Sura, enlightened one. Asura, ignorant one. Asura means ignorant. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is giving us the light of knowledge. And he says some are being entangled in the world and some are being liberated from it. Again he said, how many are the boats, O mind, that float on the ocean of this world? How many are those that sink? Nanda now asking, it may be our sweet will, but it is death to us. Again, it is so difficult to understand this subtle point. God has made himself or herself or itself all these beings. So material cause is that. Intellectual cause is that. Wherefrom we came. In Nanda, even after listening from Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself, the God himself, even after listening from him, from his own mouth, could not grasp why so much of attachment with this world. Our mind is not pure, so it is necessary the Shakti. Someone gives a beautiful talk and he has the command over the language, so he puts everything wonderfully, and we think, oh, we should follow without having the basic. And what is that basic? Shama, Dhamma, Uparati and all those. If we are not already practiced those things and suddenly taking this idea, it is impossible. Nanda Bose, he couldn't take that. So again he is asking the same basic question. It may be our sweet will, but it is death to us. And Master again has so much of patience, you see. He said, but who are you? It is the Divine Mother who has become all this. It is only as long as you do not know her that you say, I. Friends, this is called knowledge. Who am I? Sometimes the people, the Vedantin, they ask, Ko ayam? That is the question. Who am I? Kuto ayata? Wherefrom have I come? Who has created me? Kaba gati me? There's a beautifully, the very poetical way they say, where is my goal, ultimate goal? Where I am going to go, what I want actually? This is the question, and he says, if you can understand this, you are free. All will surely realize God. This is a great statement. All will surely realize God. All will be liberated. It may be that some get their meal in the morning, some at noon, and some in the evening. But none will go without food. All, without any exception, will certainly know their real self. And that is real Hinduism. Ishavashyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. That is Hinduism. Those who are mean-minded, who doesn't know anything, they have opened a window and saw something and thinking, oh, this is the external world. So they say very the negative way. They are thinking my path is the best, my way of thinking is the only way of thinking. They are what to say about them. This is real Hinduism. All are going to get the liberation, friends. Who said? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. But if you knowingly coming and following this broad path of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, then you get liberation, you go beyond the suffering circle of birth and death very quickly, very fast. But if you like to enjoy the suffering, continue. At least I don't want. There's some people, after the operation, and sometimes when that operation is over, everything is over, but you still feel happy when you are touching that particular the place of your the body. When you are touching that place, you are feeling, oh, that was operated, there was pain. You just remember that pain. They like to. It is like this. Oh, I suffer so much. They will love, they will marry, they will again suffer, fight, and go to the court, again separation, again they will marry, again they go on trying. But they don't know why they are doing it. If they know it, they will be really happy. Why they are doing it? Only for happiness. Really, truly. Only for happiness. And if we understand that, then we are happy. And this is what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Then Pashupati is mentioning, true sir, it seems that it is God alone who has become everything. Sri Ramakrishna, try to find out what is this I. Ko ayam, who am I? The mostly we say, of course, is the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna only, and he is giving the gist of the Vedanta. And the Vedanta is all-inclusive Vedanta. Sri Ramakrishna's Vedanta, all-inclusive. Anyone can follow it. It is not only that this is the only dry path you have to follow or you go out. Sometimes in America they say, by quoting someone, as my way or highway. Either you follow me or you go away. So this is not like that. All-inclusive. All-inclusive. Try to find out what is this I. Then you will understand it. Then he said, I, is this the bone or the flesh or the blood or the intestine? What is this I? And he says that seeking the I you discover thou. In other words, nothing exists inside you but the power of God. There is no I but only He. To Pashupati, the person who was talking, you have so much wealth, But you have no egotism. It is not possible to rid oneself altogether of the ego, so as long as it is there, let the rascal remain as the servant of God. So why we are separated from God? Ego. And what is this ego? Me and mine, I and thine. So what is this I? When we put the hand on our chest, this body constantly changing. Which body, when you were a tiny little child and the baby and you have become a young man and the old man, which one is you then? Your mind is changing. Which mind is you then? We cannot answer actually. And that is why the Vedanta is saying this is Maya. Sanna asanna ubhayatmikana. It is not truth, it is not untruth also. And both of that also not there. So this is really, really very, very interesting to study. Who am I then? So this, when you study, we find it is actually nothing but consciousness. And the consciousness is God. That consciousness which is reflecting on my mind, the mind is as if inside is a mirror. And from somewhere the light is coming and reflecting on that and lighting the whole room. And I say, I. The moment I know that, oh, I am intelligent because the God has given me that opportunity. I am wealthy because God has given me that. Then I become humble. And the moment I become humble, I get everything that I want. What is that? In one word we can say bliss. That is joy. The head of the household and the others were very much pleased to hear the interpretation of the ego. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's words. Then the Sri Ramakrishna is telling to the Pashupati, the person who was there are two signs of knowledge. The people talk about knowledge. I am following the path of knowledge. I am a jnani. All they say. But there are two signs. This is Sri Ramakrishna. You cannot simply say that I am a man of knowledge. Sri Ramakrishna mentions the two things you must see and then accept him. What is that? First, absence of pride. And second, a peaceful nature. Friends, I am really lucky that I have seen this type of people in our order. I have seen Swami Bireshwaranandaji Maharaj, a man of knowledge. His contemporary, another old Swami, very senior Swami, he told you, no, the Bireshwaranandaji, the stature was not very tall, so rather we can say that he was hardly 5 feet. So Sri Ramakrishna, that old Swami used to say, you know your guru, Bireshwaranandaji is my initiation guru. So your guru, right from his head down to his nail and the toe, it is all knowledge. But you are so humble. He will never ever like to show anything. I have seen Swami Gambhiranandaji. So many books he has translated. But he was so humble, very confident about his own life and the teaching, everything that he did, but so humble. Swami Bhuteshanandaji Maharaj, he was so jovial. We were so young, just novices, and he was the vice president of the order. But we used to feel that he is our elder brother type. Sometimes like the friends, we will be joking, but they were so humble, no pride at all. At the same time, they were all perfect and peaceful. So whoever is claiming that he is following the path of knowledge or a sadhu, are they having these two? sometimes they will be showing when they are in the meeting outside people. Sometimes it happens, but one must be very, very careful. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said that you must see a monk, a sadhu, at the daytime and night time also. That means all the time. Is he behaving like that? In all situations, is he like that? Then only we can accept him a perfected person. Or just going on quoting from the scripture and the flowery language and the beautiful dress and the nice way of presentation, and all people are taking photos and sending out. Nowadays, the social media, the 100 million, they will be all liking him. Whatever it may be, the millions and millions of people may clap, but the two things are very, very essential to accept him as a perfect person. One is no pride. There should not be any ego in him. And second, full of joy, very peaceful. You have both, therefore you must have received the grace of God. So he was just telling to that person. And too much wealth makes one forget God. That is the very nature of wealth. So friends, I think we should stop over here now. And is there any question? Then we will try to answer. I will conclude.
Montu De is asking, I have a question. Would you please confirm that this Nanda Bose is the same Nanda Lal Bose, the well-known artist you are referenced today?
Nanda Bose. Now this Nanda Bose, I don't know. I have to check. That I am not very much confirmed. So we have to go and see that. Then only it may be possible. I will tell you in the next class. Thank you.
The next question is from a user. His name is PM. How can one tell if you are progressing in devotion in the path of bhakti?
Oh, that is, that if you are loving God, that is another sign. You will always feel like talking about God or listening about God. And any people who are following the path, you will like them. So these are the signs. Sometimes some people, for a little period of time, they like to listen about God, that is all right. Or maybe half an hour they will read some Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna or some religious books. But after that they are, oh no, we cannot read all the time. No, they are not progressing. And moreover, as because in the dualistic way you are developing, you will feel always happy with others. Oh, they are also going towards God, the same God, in different form, in different places. It is my God. So these are the signs of development in the path of devotion. My God, and He is everywhere, and these people are also worshipping Him, so naturally I am very happy. So that is the way you can judge. Thank you.
Virendra is asking, sometimes our feeling is such that we feel alienated from Sri Ma due to our own imperfection. We cry to Holy Mother, kindly solve our problem. Will our mother look at us?
Of course. Virendra, no doubt about it, Sometimes we make mistakes. And what are the mistakes? That we become a little worldly. So who created these worldly things? Mother. And who gave us all this idea to enjoy? Mother. Now, sometimes, and again, the mother also, through different scriptures and the gurus telling don't go over there because you will suffer. But sometimes we made the mistake at the children, though the parents are guiding them, they're helping them and guiding them not to go over there. They go, they suffer like that. It is like that. Never ever hesitate to pray to Mother, and never ever keep an idea the Mother will not bless. No. She will bless, but maybe because of your karma phala, you have to suffer a little, but Mother will always be there to protect you and take you on her lap. Just pray to Mother. Thank you.
Shomin Das is asking, when everything is under God's will, good or bad, why do humans want to change everything in their own way? Is it not ignorance and egoistic to do that?
Of course it is ignorance and egoistic, otherwise why we should do. But that is the play it goes on. Then just now they were the song that we were singing, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna sang before the Nanda Bosh, then the same that way also. When we are thinking that we are doing, we made that mistake. When we think that through me God is doing, completely different thing will happen. We will do, at the same time, you will find that is creating. That if I do myself, that thing I do through the will of God, I do, but through the will of God, that will be helpful for the society, beneficial for the society. So that way we have to understand, and we have to be humble and submissive, and constant prayer is the only way to go beyond this Maya. Thank you.
Vijay is asking, please explain to us how to consider ourselves to be caretakers of this body, mind, family, friends and wealth without raga or dvesha.
Oh, excellent way you have put it, Vijay. And the caretaker of this body, wonderful. So as if the God has given us this temple, this sharira, this body is considered as temple. Why temple? Because God resides. Anywhere the God is residing, we always consider that's a holy place. So the body is a holy place. And how the body is maintained? Through food. So obviously it needs some basic food, and like the rice, then all other things, whatever the food a person may like to nourish that body, it can take. But now inside the body there is another body, about which we are not very much aware. And that the Hindus, the Vedantin, they say it is Sukshma Sharira, it is a subtle body. It is made of 17 different the divisions are there, but mainly it is the mind and the intellect. Of course, the ego is there. Now, if you think in that way, that Sukshma Sharira, subtle body, living in this gross body, unfortunately, I don't know why, Hindus are very much giving the importance on the external food, which is nourishing the body. But body has nothing to do with the God realization. Body is going to perish over here. Body is going to be burned or to bury. The body has nothing to do. Body needs some type of food, a different type of food to nourish that. But the food that we want for our subtle body, and that is this. The gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, the teachings of the great souls, the realized souls. So when we understand that, then this particular temple we can properly utilize, and when we are living in this property, we can also behave with others around us, whoever comes in contact with us, help them and behave accordingly. Some people are bad, avoid them. Some people are good, be friendly with them. Some people need some help, as maximum possible, as according to your capacity, help them or pray for them. By that way, you can live in your body, but without any attachment. It's a beautiful way you have explained, you have given this idea. Just try, always keeping in mind, this is not me. Inside this body, that Chaitanya, the consciousness, that is real me. I am only residing in this body for a few years. Then I will leave it and go somewhere. So don't care about the food, which is good to maintain this body, that is there. But don't make fuss about the food and religion. No, nothing. Then you'll be happy. Thank you.
Somen Das is asking, and I don't understand. He's saying, in this liberation in Sanatana Dharma, making it downgraded against the other religion, is it like cutting our own nose to stop others' act?
Oh, nothing like that. Society always goes like that. There will be people, they feel proud about their own culture, own religion. That is good. But the religion in reality is nothing but love. Whether you term that religion, particular path, as Islam or Hinduism or Judaism or these or that, whatever this is the modern times only. Only a few hundred years these are come. But in reality, it is the creation and the created. That is the relation. Understanding this relation is religion. The more clearly we understand that, more it is better. So this is religion. Now, some politics come, then the economy comes, then social condition comes. What to do? So it goes on. We should not be disturbed with all this. Be very clear and focused, because our time is limited. We do not know when we will die. Unnecessarily, we are wasting time fighting with others. It is not necessary. Focus on that. Those who like to do that, allow them, let you go and do that. I don't have any objection, but I am not with you. Focus on God. Pray to God. Try to understand God, and try to understand that you are a temporary the person inside your own body. Try to purify that through the words of God. Thank you.
Arup Das is asking, can you please tell something about Swami Gambhiranji Maharaj?
Arup Das, it is another, that Gambhirananda ji, he was my Sannyas Guru. I came in contact with him as because we were growing under them. We used to go to them, to talk to them, listen to them, and used to see them, how they are moving. So by that way, you could feel that is a great personality, but so calm, so unperturbed, and the great work they used to do, but without any ego. So that time when we were there, we were also very, the novices. We had great respect, but couldn't understand them. But afterwards, when we became the elderly, we had some experiences of life. Then we came to know, my God, they were so great, and we couldn't realize that time. So anyway, that is, we can say, the Gambhirananda ji, he has translated almost all the scriptures and many other wonderful books. But the best book, they all say, the book that he wrote on Ma Sharadamani Devi, the biography of Ma Sharadamani Devi, is originally Bengali, an unique book about Mother. And no one can write, many of the senior Swamis I heard saying that, commenting, without the blessings of Mother, without the realization of the Mother, no one can write like that. If possible, read that book, Ma Sharada Devi by Swami Gambhirananda ji. From Udbodhan it is published. Thank you. Thank you, friends. I am very happy that you are eagerly listening this, and may the blessings of Sri Ramakrishna be on you. May we all understand what is true religion, and may we be free in this very life itself. Enough is enough. Let us chant this mantra and conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidhyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.